All right, now we come to our very first port in the Arctic Circle. Tromso is a pretty good sized town with nearly 80,000 people that live here. It is kind of back through some of these fjords. It takes a little bit to sail back into Tromso to get into it. But on this particular day, we did have some rain here in the morning. And as a result, we ended up having to walk on out with a rain jacket, but the weather was still actually fairly warm. It really wasn't that cold at all. And the time that we spent here in Tromso, we ended up going on a tour in the morning where we booked it through the cruise line just kind of as a quick tour of the highlights of Tromso, where we kind of took a bus that out of the town and took us to some of the little outlying stops that you can go to and kind of get a good idea of the surrounding area of Tromso. It took us a short little ride here through the town before zipping us on out to some of the other little small outlying areas out past the airport here. Yes, there really are reindeer here, and they really do end up in people's front yard. Most people kind of find them a little bit of a nuisance, but anyway, we ended up kind of cruising around to this really beautiful place to go get some views of Tromso from a little bit higher up, and then we ended up heading back over to an area where we can get even some more views from one of the churches that are on the opposite side of the fjord from where the cruise ship docked. But after we ended up doing this quick little tour and a little sightseeing trip through Tromso through the cruise line, we ended up going and getting dropped off back in the port where they had buses that would take us back into the town center. And no, we did not eat at the McDonald's, even though it is the furthest northern McDonald's that exists in the world. We ended up being able to kind of walk through the town on our own and visit kind of some of the little sites around here. We actually had kind of a nice little time just walking through Tromso. It's very easy to kind of go shopping, see some of the sights. These areas they have set aside, they're really just pedestrian areas that you can walk through and do shopping. We ended up going into a little shopping mall that had this, I don't even know how to explain it. It's like a little themed cafe. Each one of the little areas has their own little decorator theme. The food was really, really good, and it was just a kind of pleasant little place to go visit. It's just in some little shopping mall there that you run into. Their port is absolutely beautiful. They have a number of different tours that run out of here. I'm sure you can find something to do if you ended up staying here in Tromso and you weren't on a cruise. But it's actually kind of a nice little place to just visit. The weather got so much better throughout the day. There's all kinds of different things to just go see and walk around and do without having to spend hardly any money if you don't want to here in Tromso. The sail out was just absolutely spectacular here. I tried to give you an idea of some of the views here and some of the waterfalls and kind of what it really sounds like. These waterfalls are huge. You can hear them all the way back into the fjords on the ship. They have a ton of water coming down them. So, like I said, as you go throughout these fjords, you're going to see waterfall after waterfall after waterfall as you visit and sail throughout all these different fjords. Now, again, back into dinner with a view on board the Apex as we sail out of Tromso here. One of the crazy things about sailing this far north is you do not get a sunset. We went 3 days without a sunset.
Thank you for coming along with us on this stop in Tromso, and please don't forget to like and subscribe.